I want to mention something about these Hollywood pervs. There's some good people in Hollywood, folks, and there's some of the ones who's mysteriously died young, in their prime, making big bucks and everything, popular. Well, somebody took a disliking to them, and that's usually somebody within the ranks of the Illuminati. They make millions for following scripts that recite things that keep you naive. These scripts, they teach and tell you what's coming to kill you, and then they tell you the truth sometimes and the secret sometimes, and give you warnings sometimes. It's written and it's orchestrated into the presentation, and it's done for your entertainment. It's up to you to be able to view and to listen with yourselves and with your emotions at the same time, and analyze what the heck, with critical thinking, what the heck you're listening to and what you're looking at. It's necessary. You got to think of it as a whole, and or one idea from a whole, or an individual, some individual focus. You folks need to communicate these things with each other. Reports of 59 dead and 527 injured or wounded in that that daggone state, doggone it, I can't even think of the name of it now. So much bull hockey going on in the world out here with fake and false shootings and mass shootings and everything. Nevada, I think it was. That's a bunch of That's a bunch of bullshit, people. Nevada's a bunch of bullshit. My first question is, where are the hundreds and hundreds of media files from all of those cameras? That's why no one shares or no one sees my videos, is because it's common sense here on this channel. It's in your face what's going on and what's happening to you. What's happening to somebody not far from you if it ain't happening to you. They can see the name on the buttons on your clothing, or they can scan your eye almost anywhere within that motel system. All the halls, the elevators, the stairwells, the exits, the entrances, the garbage disposals, the deliveries and the departures, all of those exits and entrances everything is recorded. The only thing to know is those who cover up the evidence, and the players and the crisis actors and the terrorism that's going on against the people in America by conspiracy of other people living in America, and they are Americans. They're our military, they're our law enforcement, they're all in on it together. How in the hell can you respect or believe anybody is decent? You're going to tell me that 10 or 20 cops out of one department knows about a phony baloney CIA, DHS made up bullshit school shooting or something somewhere, and it's never going to get out? They're going to keep it all to themselves, and they're the only bad guys in the whole friggin' department? Bullshit! While I'm thinking about it, people like Kurt Gowdy, he should be asking the right questions, not posing for the camera. And Kurt Gowdy, I know you got good in you, man. I know you do. I could have a conversation with you about a few things that you don't want to talk about. But you should be yourself, man. You should be asking the proper questions and getting the truth to the friggin' people that you're trying to fucking impress. You impress them by giving them the truth. You separate yourself from the bad guys. You pose as a good guy, you ain't showing me too much, man. I'm telling you, that could get a lot of good attention for you. Where are the cameras? You should be asking them questions and demanding the friggin' answers. Where is the evidence? Those of corporations and government, Marxism, Nazi, Muslim, Zionist, Jews, or some king friggin' lizard somewhere. Look, folks, I don't give a damn if it is a king lizard and he's got a magic wand. He don't make the hair stand up on the back of my neck. And I'm going to tell you right now, these psycho and militaristic mental cases working for that king lizard and all his little bullshit corporations and congressmen and senators and presidents underneath of him, let me tell you something. They all know what's going on. They have use of the machines. They control the distribution, all of the distribution of their poisons, their psycho and their militaristic mental cases. And they keep the victimized citizens intimidated and threatened to do nothing and not to say shit about nothing. And why do we have need to defend ourselves against their tectonic weaponry? In the first place, why do we have need? Why do we have to go and buy precautions? Why do we have to research on things to keep us healthy? These scientists are the know-it-alls. They experiment and kill and torture and cripple, and they do all kinds of heinous shit for the progress of medicine. And what are we doing? Getting sicker and sicker and sicker, but they're not getting sick. They're part of the problem. You folks can't wake up to nothing. The cancer rate in America, 1 in 26 in 1960, and 1.7 out of 3 in 2015. That ought to jog you. That's why I have an attitude against law enforcement, the judicial system. They don't go after the real criminals that are killing people by the bunches. They just go after somebody for driving too fast, or somebody not going to court for dropping their friggin' drawers. That's who they want to gun down and kill. Somebody that don't have no respect for their judicial system. And why are those who are in personal and private service to the forces, and they force you to stay within the guidelines of what your service to them will be and what cost to you it will be. These are the ones who guard the real criminals and support a bullshit judicial system to bleed the people for the trivialest of matters and things. To kill them, gun them down for a taillight out on a bicycle. Damn, there's a cop that just let his dog rip a guy to pieces because he didn't have a taillight on his bicycle. And he didn't want to stop and go through the bullshit. He probably knew what was going to happen. The video's on YouTube. This cop just held him and let his dog chew him up and doing their bullshit. Stop resisting, stop resisting, stop resisting. Man, let me tell you something. That's when somebody ought to take a long Tom shotgun and blow that stop resisting recording motherfucker's head right off of his neck. Right while they're bent over top of somebody, tasing them to death. They got a guy down in his car. Couldn't even speak English, it sounded to me like. They tased his son of a gun until they killed him, and his wife begged for his life. And they ignored her and told her to get back, that they were in danger. They were inside of his car, 2 of them, tasing him to death. He's down between the front seats, completely defenseless, mobilized. He's strapped more or less to the floor of the car, and they're killing him with tasers. And then they want to bleed a case. Oh, I was scared. They climbed in his friggin' car, tasing him, and they're scared. They ain't scared of nothing. Folks, these of immense powers are using those powers to sicken and kill you. And they're using mind-controlled and brainwashed militant bastards to gun you down, to shackle you, to tase you, to stun you, to steal from you, to render you less than human. And that's what they're doing. They shackle you like a friggin' animal and throw you in a cage where some animals are at. Their weapons and products of genocidal war determine all methods of personal transmissions, all methods of airborne, all methods of mist, dews, all precipitations, dry dust and gases that you can't smell, but a bird or an animal may. They may drop right out of the sky, and people say, oh, why is all them birds dying? Scientists say, oh, I have no idea. They have an idea because they're drawing a paycheck off of people that are under the control of the ones that's doing the killing. and they know to keep their mouths shut. Folks, they kill animals, mass death, just like they do humans. Where are y'all at on this right here? Does that not get to you? Does it have no effect on you at all? Then how come it doesn't? If you say, well, you know, I can live with that. I can live with them people being burned alive and being tortured and having all of their properties taken from them, their animals, their whole lives devastated and destroyed. They're living in tents for 2 or 3 years after war has destroyed their homes and their cities, their farms and everything. And what were they doing? They don't even have guns. You people got no friggin' idea in America right here. They're coming for your guns. They're taking the people that they know will use their guns, and they're taking people that they know live in areas where guns are plentiful, and the people willing to use them are plentiful. They use their tectonic weapons and bring weather war on them places, and then they go in and they confiscate what they want to confiscate, including those people, many of which are killed once they're identified. They're shot inside of Walmart buildings. They're shot in the back of vehicles, cop cars, everywhere. You people just ain't got a clue in the world at what's really going on in this country, because the media don't work for you and don't give a shit about you. They work for the same ones that's doing the killing. Like I said, folks, those that have all of these immense powers, these tectonic weapons and these chemicals and these ways for the government to force humans to allow poisons to be put in their body by surgeries, by foods, by plastics, whatever method, they're forcing death into your body. If you eat and you drink, then damn it, you are eating and drinking some of their poison in almost everything you consume. And their mass genocides across the flat earth are obviously not known to you. Or at least they're not considered by you. They're not considered if you do know them. It's like, oh yeah, well I know that. So what? All methods, like I said, of communicating these diseases to your body, they are in control of, and they govern everything. They do all of this, and these are those who are all the sheriff's departments should have cases against these mass murdering criminals. All of the sheriff's departments. The sheriff is supposed to have authority over state troopers. I mean, from what I've always been told about a sheriff, they're one of the most powerful people in the whole entire state, except for another sheriff in another county. If all of the sheriffs got together and started prosecuting and arresting these mass murdering government and military criminals, the people would side with the cops. The cops don't think they would. If they started fighting the real true bad guys, people like me would stand behind them and with them. I'd be uncomfortable, but I'd stand with them if they were after the real bad guys. But what are they doing? They're protecting the real bad guys. So I have no respect for them at all. I can't. I cannot. I will not. I refuse. You see, folks, the sheriffs don't even go after him. Sheriff Opayo, he proved that Obama was a Muslim. He proved that he was from Kenya, old day Kenya, and that's old day Assyria. And then the Bible was pre-written to say the Antichrist is going to come from Assyria. And so Obama actually was born and came from Kenya, but Kenya is renamed, is a part of Assyria that has been renamed Kenya. So he's supposed to be the Antichrist. This book was all written, and the governments all play right into it to make it happen. These documentaries that I'm putting out, you folks should see them. That Ring of Power and From Behind the Veil. Y'all should see them documentaries. Every daggone posting of them, you should see them. Not for me, not for my channel, but for you. I repeat. The sheriff's department should be investigating, and they should be building cases against these criminals. These chemtrail planes, these HARP machine controllers, folks. How do you think the weather would be where we're living right now? Let's say we live in a simulation. Let's say that we live under a dome on a great big huge flat plane. Let's say that we live on a round spinning ball. But let's note that all the weather is controlled by friggin' HAARP machines. HAARP, they control all the weather, and there's your sign if you don't believe me. I paid my dues on the research, I know what the hell I'm talking about. Now let's say that the HAARP machines didn't control the weather no more. Let's say the chemtrails wasn't sprayed over our heads anymore. What do you think the earth would do? Do you think it would die? They're killing the earth, for crying out loud. They're killing it big time, hard and bad and cruel and sad. And y'all ain't picking up on it. Your kids may a little. Their kids will get used to it not even being a decent place to live. Humans ain't really meant to live on this earth, especially with the killing and the poison and the genocide that's going on all life of this earth. And everybody stands by idle. You don't complain, you don't stand up for your fucking selves for nothing. And when you do, you're not ready for a fight. If you're gonna stand up, you damn well be ready to fight. Don't be a fool and stand up and run your mouth to a bunch of guns slinging mercenaries in uniforms wearing badges and shit. They don't give a tinker's damn about you. You got to go along with the program until you're in a position that you will or can fight. Then their attitudes towards you is going to be a little bit different, and you're not going to be stupid enough to let them get the fucking drop on you. The sheriff's departments are too busy trying to silence people and put people like me away or put people like me down. And that's their best option for me. Put me down. They don't even want me talking to cops. If there was a whole bunch of cops and they weren't killing me and like I could still talk, they would want me silenced. They don't want these cops. They don't want you. That's why they control the viewings and the shares of my videos, and that's why they post, oh, this has got copyright material in it. That means you can't download these things. You've got to set your own camera up and record your screen, your monitor. If you want to get something up that I posted that you can't download, get a camcorder, set it up, record it off the screen, record the sound off your computer screen, your television screen, whatever you got. That's how you make a copy of things. That's why when I see something good and I think I would like the people that show respect to my channel to know about it or to see it, I collect it any way I can, if I can, and then I present it to you. And I don't even fear, I do fear, but I do it at a risk of losing my own channel to bring you folks truths. You don't subscribe and you don't share. I don't figure that. You love listening to the losers, the liars, the deceivers. What else can it be? You want to be entertained, I'm sorry. They don't pay me enough to entertain. And do the sheriffs go after, or even do they investigate? People got to be talking to some of them. I have myself. No, they don't. Why, you ask? Why one or two of you might ask? It's because they are working for those who spray genocides over your head. Over your heads. The sheriff's departments work for them. In spite of them saying, we're not going to let the government come in here and do anything. You elected me, my loving people, and I love you back, and I'm not going to let nothing happen to you. And then later it's going to be, the sheriffs are going to go, oh, their little wrists are going to go, zoo, and then they're going to go, oh, I'm just saving my job. And you folks have got nothing, and they done got your guns too. Oh, that's sad. Take back your meeting places, folks. Start with your friggin' churches. They've been lying and deceiving you and keeping you corralled for the government long enough. It's time for you to throw the Masons out of them churches, then throw out the snitches, then evaluate with critical thinking both the evidence and the options. If you got everything off my channel and played it all in that church in front of a bunch of good old boys and girls, my stuff will stir somebody up. Then you got to organize under the God and the church umbrella. You follow me? Get under that umbrella. You can organize. Then you gather some support. And I'm going to tell you right now, many will offer without public or personal involvement other than anonymous contributions. Some will just pay to see a fight. And that's the only way y'all ever going to change or solve anything is with a goddamn fight. That's the only way you're going to ever change or solve anything. A full countryside or a whole town of awakened people, men and women and boys and girls. Let me tell you something. You pay attention to what I'm going to say now, folks. You can gather a whole countryside if you folks will communicate with each other like humans should be. Should be able to. If insects and animals can do it, how come humans can't do it? Or a whole town. And you make sure, like I mentioned, the people are awakened, the men, the women, the boys, and the girls, and you take them meeting places and you educate everybody. You give them a crash course. Then they need to go, after y'all get them together, you call a big meeting and you tell everybody to bring their damn guns and some extra bullets maybe. And then you go to the sheriff's office and you let nothing stop you or nothing stop your party. And I mean cars and trucks, cars and trucks and cars and trucks of people. And you confront the sheriff and you demand that the whole office open up investigations on these ageless machines used against all life and start closing up the shops and putting some real criminals in their jails for a change. And performance stages of judicial crap, they need to be shut down. And folks, then you tell that sheriff, wherever it is, that it's time for a change, and we the people, I'll be glad to go in front of any group of you. I'll be glad to do the talking for you. Just remember, you can get me there, I'll do the talking for you. I'll stand unarmed as long as y'all are armed and standing behind me. Just to spit in their faces, something that they need to be told. You tell that sheriff that it's time for a change, and we, the people, will not take no for any response. It starts there for one place. For one place, it starts there. It could start at one of the sheriff's offices, or it could start at 20 of the sheriff's offices across the state at the exact same hour. All across the board, folks. Then protect each other, and if homes are approached later, then put a stop to that shit once and for all. If they come out to the homes of the leaders or somebody who they call instigators or criminals later, pour in on top of the attackers and show some damn seriousness about things. If groups of people can get the sheriffs to work for them, that's a start right there. You might have to pay their salaries if you can get them to work for you, because one thing is for sure about the sheriffs and the cops and the robbers and the military people. They will suit up and do anything for money and their pleasure, and to service the ones that they fear, because they fear the ones they work for. Oh, they service them just well and fine and good, to the best of their ability, most of them. But they fear them. Can you say hint, hint? They fear them. That's why they work for them, because they're getting paid and they fear them. And if groups of people can get the sheriffs to work for them, people are going to have to witness mass shootings by the cops before they get the whole picture. You're going to have to see people gunned down, and you're going to have to know a shockwave in your mind that them people did not deserve to get shot. That's what it's going to take to wake a whole bunch of you up. And it may have to be somebody that you have feelings for, that you care about. or something that you care about. That's sad that it takes that kind of waking up. But if the military, the UN gets involved, then make sure the whole thing gets public, because most or all of you are probably going to die then. It's a tough job and sacrifices will be necessary, but a stop needs to be put to all of this crap, folks. And Trump is just another punk for the public and the mob that owns us all right now. They own us. We're their possessions. They can kill us, burn us, throw us in prison, dissect us, dismember us. They can do anything to us they want. These frequencies, these fire tornadoes, all HAARP created. These houses that are burning up in California, the HAARP machine. They're burning them houses up with the HAARP machine. They're cooking people and animals and stuff so quick they can't even get out of the house. That's why the houses ignite. There's a guy, Matt L. Smith, I think North Carolina. I believe that somebody murdered him. I believe he was murdered, and I believe they used an accelerant inside of his house, or they could have been coordinated enough to use the HAARP on the inside of his house. And then everybody rushed to cremate the body. There's no autopsy by a private individual. They're getting away with anything and everything that they want, folks, and y'all just ain't paying no attention to it. And I'm going to tell you something else right now. These chapters from some of these documentaries that I have seen are well done, and they give you a different view or show you things that this channel right here and that I might not be showing you or saying to you in a way that you can pick up. They are saying it different, but these numbered series can be most informative to you if you hear and watch them all the way through. You're going to get a really, really big picture. A lot of gaps are going to fill in for you. I'm telling you. You folks need to react. You folks need to react. Poisons are added to nearly everything we are exposed to. Food, air, water, pharmaceuticals, even health products and necessities. Toothpaste, denture products. They are the scientists, they are the government, they are the law. They are those who are at war with humanity, and they use their powers and their products to kill and to sicken us, folks, not to keep us healthy. The evidence is out there, and it's in abundance, and it's detailed to inform you just as I have. Why the fuck is nobody angry enough to defend yourself against the ones doing it to you? That's what I don't understand. That's why I'm considered the bad guy. I'm considered a risk. I'm considered dangerous, probably. Who would consider me dangerous? I happen to be one. I happen to be one that informs you. And there's others like me. I just say it straight out and straight to the point. And how come if you knew the things that I know, God damn it, you would be mad? Some of you might say, well, hell, he talks crazy. He's a lunatic. How are you going to pull something off like that? Well, it's simple, folks. When you decide to make a stand and the sheriff's office will not comply when you're asking them to go after the real criminals, then what you do is you clean out that entire sheriff's office and you elect a whole new sheriff's office, and you can get that easily done. You can get that done pronto, quick, and you don't play no games. That's how you do it. You got other uniforms around there for people to wear and put on, other shoes, you got their weapons, their guns. Get rid of that sheriff's office and elect a whole new sheriff's office. That's how you're going to get something done.